A very good morning, dear students. I am Pretima Sharma, your science teacher. In today's session, we shall be studying about the third group of microorganisms, that is the protozoa. Protozoans are the microscopic unicellular organisms and they are present in various shapes. They have pseudopodia. Pseudo means false and podia means feet. Or they have flagella, which is a whip-like structure, right, which is present in euglena. They also can have cilia, which are hair-like structure all around the body, which is present in paramecium. Now, these protozoans are found in water or on land or inside the body of the living organisms. The fourth group of microorganisms we'll be studying are the alga or the algae. They are primarily aquatic plants, that is the plants which live in water, or they live in moist conditions as well. They may be unicellular or multicellular. Some algae are very small and can be seen under only the microscope, but some of them are several meters long. They are green in color because they possess the pigment which is chlorophyll. Some of them may be red or brown in color as well, because of which they are also called red algae or the brown algae. Now, we know that algae are autotrophic. That is, they are capable of making their own food. The examples are Spirogyra, Volvox, Velothrix and Chlamydomonas. The fifth group we'll be studying are the viruses. Now, viruses we all are nowadays familiar with what viruses. These are ultra microscopic, non-cellular and highly infectious microorganisms. Now, they come to life and can multiply only inside the body of the living organisms, right? That's why they are called the biological puzzles. Now, outside the body of the living organisms, they are inactive. They show all the properties of a non-living organism. They show some of the characteristics of non-living things and some of the characteristics of living things when they are inside the body of a host. That's why they are considered to be on the borderline of the living and non-living. That is, they are considered to be the connecting link between the living and non-living. They are also termed as biological puzzles. Now, microorganisms can be both useful and harmful for human beings, right? Now, we have been using microorganisms in various ways. Like, for example, in the food industry. In the food industry, we'll be studying about some of the ways in which we are using microorganisms in the food industry. Like, for example, in preparing curd and cheese. Curd is made from milk, that we all know, right? The process of turning milk into curd is called curdling. The bacterium which does this is lactobacillus, which stores the milk and helps in curdling of milk. Curd also contains one more bacterium that is called streptococcus and many other useful microorganisms. Cheese is also produced by lactobacillus. The second use, it can be microorganisms are used in making idlis and dosas, that we all are very familiar with, right? Now, food products such as idlis and dosas are made from the paste of black gram. Black gram means urad dal, right? The fresh paste is allowed to ferment with bacteria such as streptococcus present in the air, right? It takes about 8 to 10 hours for fermentation and carbon dioxide gas is released from the dough, which makes the paste fluffy and spongy. The dough, that is the dough of the rice as well as the black gram. The dough is then steamed or baked in order to form idlis and dosas, right? The third use in the food industry itself, it can be making bread, which is very common, which is a staple food of many parts of the world, right? It is made from the dough of flour and water. In making bread, yeast is used to the fresh dough. The dough is kneaded, kept, in that yeast is added so that yeast decomposes the sugar which is present in the dough to produce carbon dioxide and alcohol. The bubbles of carbon dioxide fill the dough and make it fluffy and spongy. This dough is then baked to form bread. The fourth function is in preparing spirulina. What is spirulina? Spirulina is a cyanobacteria which is used as a food-rich protein, right? Supplement which human beings and many animals are also given. It is grown, dried, powdered and then packed into edible capsules. Okay, and it's a supplement of protein. Okay, protein diet. A person who needs more of proteins can take spirulina capsules. The fifth function is in making beverages. A very famous beverage, alcohol, wine, right? Alcohol is produced from the natural sugars present in sugar cane, wheat, barley, grapes, rice, molasses and other fruits in the presence of yeasts. Yeasts respire anaerobically when added to any source of natural sugar in a closed container and produce alcohol and carbon dioxide. This process of formation of alcohol from sugars by the action of yeast is called fermentation. I repeat, the process of formation of alcohol from sugars which are present in various food which I mentioned, sugarcane, yeast, barley, right? Grapes, rice, etc. by the action of yeast is called fermentation. Yeasts are useful in large-scale production of alcohol and alcoholic beverages, means like wine, beer, etc. Wine is extracted by fermenting crushed grapes and beer is obtained by fermenting barley. Toddy, which is a traditional country-made drink made by fermenting the juice of toddy palm and the coconut water. The next function of microorganisms in food industry is in making agar-agar. Now, agar-agar is a vegetarian gelatin substitute which is produced from a variety of seaweeds vegetation. Seaweeds means the weeds which grow in the sea. It is sold in health food stores in both flake and powdered form. It is used as a culture medium for certain useful bacteria and therefore is used in variety of dairy-free and vegan recipes as a stabilizing and thickening agent. The second way microorganisms are useful is microorganisms act as natural scavengers. Some bacteria help us in decomposing the dead remains of animals and plants and thus increase the soil fertility and help in cleaning our environment. This is done majorly by two ways. One is the humus formation and the second one is by nitrogen fixation. Now, humus, which is the most precious topmost layer of the soil. Humus is formed by decomposition of organic matter by the action of microorganisms. The organic matter means the plants and animals, right? Humus enriches the soil by increasing its water holding capacity. Because of the humus, the soil can hold more water by aerating it. That is, the air inside the soil and increasing the solubility of soil minerals. Nitrogen fixation. Plants absorb nitrogen from the soil in a symbiotic relationship with a soil bacterium which is known as rhizobium. Leguminous plants form nodules on their roots or stems to fix nitrogen into a form usable by plants and animals. That is, in short, we can say it in other words that rhizobium is the bacteria which fixes atmospheric nitrogen. Right? And this bacteria rhizobium is found in the root nodules of the leguminous plants. Okay, because of which it increases the nitrogen content of the soil. It enriches the soil with nitrogen. The other examples of such bacteria are Mesorhizobium and Cynorhizobium. So that's all in this session. Thank you and stay blessed.